The penultimate round of matches then in the URC, with just 4 points currently separating the teams in 2nd and 8th. It's all to play for in the clamour for a home quarter final that should make for a thrilling end to the regular season. 8 changes for Munster from that impressive win away to Ulster last time, while Thomas Ahern comes into the 2nd row and Peter O'Mahony returns to the blindside flank. All change in the halfbacks, Conor Murray and Ben Healy taking over from Craig Casey and Joey Carberry. Rory Scannell comes into the midfield, and having missed the game in Belfast following the arrival of his baby daughter, it's Cardiff who very well may have their hands full with the now father of 4, Simon Zebo. Di Young makes 5 changes to the side that lost 22-6 to the Ospreys at the Arms Park last Saturday. Christian Dacey, Dylan Lewis and James Botham are drafted into that forward pack, with Josh Navidi captaining from the open side flank. Lloyd Williams replaces his younger brother Tomas at scrum half, and Jared Evans comes in for Rhys Priestland at 10. Otherwise, it's the same backline that failed to fire against the Ospreys as Cardiff slumped to a 3rd consecutive Derby Day defeat in the United Rugby Championship. Slight breeze, a good crowd, plenty of colour and perfect conditions both overhead and underfoot on the banks of the Lee at Musgrave Park in Cork tonight. Cardiff's dramatic late win over the champions Leinster, you may recall, back at the end of January, was very much the region's high watermark for the season so far, but they've managed only 1 win in their 8 matches since then and currently sit 14th in the table. They're out of the Challenge Cup, and while the season Di Young has described recently as a nightmare is coming to an end with not a huge amount to play for, so it'll be interesting to keep an eye on their motivation levels and morale levels tonight, although that man in your picture, Josh Navidi, who wears the armband, will always demand the most from his players. Brad Thornton in alongside Seb Davies once again in the engine room in the 2nd row. The increase in decibel levels will tell you we're about to see Peter O'Mahony lead out this Munster side. Just 2 games to go, and Munster currently sitting 3rd in the table on 51 points. The same number of points shared by the Sharks and Ulster, Glasgow, Edinburgh and the Bulls, all still very much in the mix for the end of season playoff places. Just 4 points between the Stormers in 2nd and the Bulls in 8th. It is all to play for. It is exactly how the tournament organisers would have liked to see it pan out. Results down in the Southern Hemisphere in South Africa over the last 6 weeks or so have really added an extra dimension to this competition. Top 4 finish and a home quarter final, absolutely crucial. There is a feeling that Munster may need as many as 6 points from their 2 remaining matches, so that is why JP Ferreira described tonight's game during the week as an absolute must-win, and they'll target the 4 points before going in search of the 5, but they will want to bank a handsome win and build on what was an impressive display against an unusually out of sorts Ulster side. They seem to be nursing a little bit of a European hangover from that defeat over the 2 legs against Toulouse. Munster got the job done against Exeter, so they're still firing on both cylinders, and it will be our Welsh visitors that get us underway in Cork tonight. Jared Evans at number 10 in for Rhys Priestland tonight, and he goes long and deep into the arms of Simon Zebo, and it's taken on here by Jack O'Donoghue in that cabinet reshuffle in the back row. He finds himself at number 8 with O'Mahony reinstated to the blindside flank, and Alex Kindellan, whose stock is rising week on week on the open side flank. He had a brilliant tour down in South Africa, and he's kicking on every single game. Munster's kick chase is ferocious in terms of their appetite to get onto the ball, and they're going to find nothing easy tonight, Cardiff. First decision though from the match referee tonight, who by the way is Sam Grove White, says that Munster off their feet, Cardiff penalty. And it's not an end of season dead rubber, Barry, is it? There's Peter O'Mahony straight about his business, and a little bit of a fracas.
Yeah, Pete doing what he does best, getting in the scuffle to get the Cork crowd behind the Munster side.
Get out. Right, stay there, Pete.
Or a little bit of handbags. Munster will be disappointed with that penalty. It was a good exit from Conor Murray. We've seen over the last 2 weeks that Munster have chosen to go for longer kicks when they're exiting down to 22. A really good chase from Simon Zebo, but just the judge going off the field to break down. Peter O'Mahony getting a bit of a speaking to from the referee.
Make sure you're not holding them down on the ground, or whoever it was. Josh, just make sure no one's holding anyone when the whistle goes. We stop.
Judge to be holding Peter O'Mahony. Don't poke the bear is the translation of the advice from the referee.
Munster, line is yours.
What was that? Kick chasing, you just see.
Yeah, focus here, Robbie.
Klein and one or two others off their feet as well. Over exuberance inside the opening 60 seconds or so brings this Cardiff line out just on the doorstep of the Munster 22. Just one defeat in the last 15 matches on home soil against Welsh opponents. Let's see if Cardiff can fire a shot inside the opening couple of minutes here as they truck it up the middle through Ray Lilo. Owen Lean using his physicality and his feet to good effect there. Rory Scannell wearing number 12 tonight for Munster. Now Damien Dialandi, and that's a huge hit going in there from Dylan Lewis. And options here out wide potentially as they play to width. Oh, really up. Good opportunity here for Cardiff. That's brilliant. Seb Davies is in. And we've played less than 2 minutes. Cardiff put the ball through the hands into the wider channels. Lovely step from Hallam Amos, and then Seb Davies was loitering with intent out wide, and he used his strength and power to get in for the first try.
That's exactly what Cardiff can do. They're so dangerous when they get quick ball. We know they've got some deadly finishers in Lane and in Amos, but you don't expect Lewis to be one of those. But really good hands from Josh Navidi, great feed from Amos, and a good finish. Mike Haley doing all he could there, but just the weight and the size of the man took him over in the corner. Really good start from Cardiff.
Absolutely throwing down the gauntlet to Munster here inside the opening 2 or 3 minutes of the game. First salvo, first entry into that 22. Brilliant try. The sort of incision and clinical play that was so lacking against the Ospreys last week, and it's a really, really good conversion as well. Now then, game on, 3 minutes played at Musgrave Park. What a start by the Welsh side.
As you can see there, Munster just getting caught on the blind side, not numbered up. Conor Murray wrong-footed by Amos. Such a dangerous attacker with the ball in two hands.
As I was saying pre-game when we were chatting off air about the motivation factor and what type of performance we could expect from Connacht, well, they've certainly redrawn those battle lines already. Now, what will be the riposte from Munster, because certainly there will be one. Healy, shape to dummy, but brings in Mike Healy as fullback, and now they go to Jeremy Loughman and into Klein. Evans gets himself out of the way under the watchful eye of Sam Grove White, the match referee, taken on now by O'Donoghue. Centre of the pitch options left and right for Munster here. Jeremy Barry.
He's out. Yeah, he's gone.
9th start of the season for the Tipperary man in that hooker position for Munster. Kieran again is good, which provides quick ball, and it's Barron again quickly shifts it on to Loughman, who's met with a meaty challenge. Munster player from James Ratty. Again in that number 8 position. Healy now over the top. That was a little bit risky when you've got the likes of Kambango and Ray Lilo. Munster have secured it out the back. Healy. Josh Navidi was almost getting his hands on that open country in front of him. Scannell now. Munster offloading for fun and looking to put real pace on the ball and width too. Zebo going through the phases. Oh, that's brilliant off the floor from Klein to bring in Murray. They need a scrum half. Scannell will deputise. Barron now got himself out of the firing line, and the firing line was Rhys Carey, who came through at a rate of knots. Good continuity, good ball in play time as Munster look to try and hit back immediately from that try. Healy again has a little bit of a snipe, and they move it on now to Farrell, and we know what he can do in terms of punching holes in rear guards, using all his strength and upper body physicality. Now Zebo using that beautiful elusive footwork that he has, and they're finding it very difficult to bring him to ground. Behind Lockman they go to Healy now. Will they choose to go over the top? Oh, great pass! O'Donoghue, what a try! Absolutely sensational! Straight out of the top drawer and finished by Mike Healy. But what a team try that is from Munster. One of the best of the season so far, surely. Through the phases, through the hands, backs and forwards. Brilliant score.
Incredible intent from Munster there to keep the ball alive. Great footwork from Simon Zebo over on this left-hand side. Great dancing feet, always with the head up, looking to offload, spinning out of the tackle. Little handoffs, and then it's quick ball from Conor Murray. Wonderful vision from Ben Healy then to throw the pass, and it's Jack O'Donoghue. An easy offload to Mike Healy.
Thanks, mate.
That's a fantastic team try. You can see Cardiff are leaving the ball in the ruck as often as possible. They're not committing players, so it requires offloads to get through that full 15 players in the line, and Munster doing exactly that with John Klein with a beautiful offload as well in the middle of that.
Absolutely breathless start to the game from both sides, and what a response that is from Munster. Straight and true, plenty of conviction. The sides are level. 7 minutes in, 7 points apiece. Strap yourselves in, it could be quite an evening in Cork tonight if the opening couple of salvos are anything to go by.
Nice work at the tackle there. Some really good honest play. Tackles are moving nice, yeah, really good.
So many little cameos within that really long passage of play. As you say, Jean Klein off the floor was brilliant. Lockman was involved a couple of times, Barron too. Great ball over the top as well then from Healy after. He chose to sling it wide. The execution was
use it.
Always on.
Don't pull him into.
It's really encouraging for Munster. I think you'd have found earlier in the season
that's good.
Potentially would have
Munster end of the line.
Would have lost patience after a few phases there and put boot to ball. Kicked
That's
away
good there,
possession
no
was something we were guilty of, or they were guilty of a lot this season. But great to see they just have belief in building phases.
Cardiff line out to the front to both them. Williams waits, sizes up his options. Lilo. Clear is good from both of them, but he's not through the gate.
He didn't get back round.
Sorry, it's a Cardiff penalty.
He just took a shortcut.
It's against Jack O'Donoghue
entry.
instead.
Not bad foot.
Really good field position again, Cardiff. They've started very brightly.
Yeah. Time off.
Yeah, Jack O'Donoghue just guilty of seeing the ball and swiping at it.
First captained Munster in a game against Cardiff in February 2018, Jack O'Donoghue. Recently played his 150th game for the region against Wasps when he was man of the match and scored a try. Debut all the way back in 2014.
He's really grown as a leader into this Munster side. I think you can see that over the last few months.
I was happy your ball wasn't too slow there, but I'll keep an eye on it. I got for the off feet, but yeah.
As is Alex Kindellan.
And he's really got to be front and centre in that conversation, depending on how many players Ireland take to New Zealand in the summer. But he's done more than put his hand up. You can't ignore a form like that.
No, you really can't.
Yeah,
it just shows how competitive that is. That Irish back row is.
You good, 13?
I think it's 2017 or 18 since Jack was last
time
captain.
on, 8 entry.
He's had a fantastic season, nominated for European Player of the Year as well. So you'd imagine he's definitely in the conversation.
Cardiff very much in the conversation. Early doors here, and Jared Evans just pops one down deep into that Munster 22. So an opportunity now for Christian Dacey to hit those big targets in there. And he does. Davis, the Cardiff try scorer, takes it. Now can they get a good shape and some momentum here? Pretty rock solid Munster maul defence, so they have to play it with Williams and Cavango in there. Lloyd Williams gets his team moving again, straight in front of those Munster posts.
No, he regathered.
Claims of a knock on. Murphy's happy to let play continue, and it's the hooker Dacey with hands on up to 4 or 5 metres out, and they're coming from all angles here, and Zebo's calling for more reinforcements out that side, but Cardiff take it back against the green. A loose head prop, Rhys Carey, the former Saracens man, gets a metre or two as well, and they reset and reload. Munster get good low body positions, but Cardiff are very close here, and it's been held up, and it's going to be a goal line dropout. Good outcome for Munster.
The more frustrating, I think, changes in the laws was that it's been held up. It's a goal line dropout. It's seen unfair sometimes, but Munster did very well to hold that up.
Thanks.
Yeah, if we go back to that penalty again against Jack O'Donoghue, it's been a point of kind of a flaw this Munster side this year, is giving away soft penalties, allowing teams back into the game and easy possession. So they get out of jail this time.
Making it all the way beyond the 10-metre line. Cardiff seen plenty of possession, as they did in the first half against the Ospreys last week. They just didn't have that ruthless edge, couldn't really get any penetration. They've come out flying out of the blocks here, showing real invention and expansion and a willingness to play. That's what Jared Evans brings at 10, and it's what Hallam Amos has in spades. Oh, that's a lovely offload as well, and they're very close again here, Cardiff. Opportunity now, Navidi. Difficult man to put down from those close quarters. John Ryan just manages to do it. Ratty now will go again. Oh, that's a little bit loose out the back, but it's Evans over the top. It's going to be a try here for Ray Lilo, and he runs in for Cardiff's second score. He may have injured himself in the process, but they looked like they might score wide on the right-hand side. They've come all the way back across the pitch. There was a little fumble, but Evans made the most of it, and Lilo gets the try.
It's the ease at which they're scoring. Really, really quick ball. Good lines of running, good hard running. Just making those breaks outside the Munster 13 channel. And in the end, it was an easy run in.
Yeah, 5 will be a
Lilo. Calvin Nash just thought he might have man and ball, rushed out of the line. There's always risky ones, but sometimes it's the only thing you can do when you're the last man of defence.
Keep working. Good job.
First try of the season for Ray Lilo. Relatively straightforward. He took a knock a few moments ago and received some treatment up around the halfway line just beneath us, and he doesn't look entirely happy, despite the fact that he's just reclaimed the lead for his side. It's a very good strike. Really good strike. Lovely conversion. 14 points to 7.
Trying for Cardiff after 11 minutes of the game, scored by Ray Lilo, converted by Jared Evans. Munster 7.
The dreaded Cardiff bounce pass sometimes can always work to your advantage.
And he doesn't look it. He's not too far away from us up here in the back of the stand, but he must be well, more than pretty happy. He must be absolutely delighted with the way his team have started, given their recent performances. Short one this time. Beautiful take from Farrell, and look at the stride of Jack O'Donoghue, just eating up the ground and carrying Munster straight away into the 22. Healy now, he started very, very lively. He's been dumped on his backside there by Owen Lean, taken on by Klein. Conor Murray wrestling for it. That's Dylan Lewis. And here's Jeremy Lockman, 14 minutes in. Munster looking to hit back as the game is settling into a pattern of you have it, we have it, and it's Zebo over the top. Now can they stop O'Donoghue? He did have Calvin Nash on his right shoulder. Conor Murray, quick ball, Zebo. End-to-end game inside the opening quarter of an hour here. Lockman. Cries of get it wide. Munster do have numbers left if they want to sling it wide. O'Mahony now. And he gets up to a metre. Conor Murray, how many times have we seen him just dot down from that kind of range? Munster very close. Can they get the ball down? They're playing now with penalty advantage, which might just change their option. Klein, I think it is, with that carry just held up ever so short of the line. Healy over the top, two players waiting for it. Zebo, does he manage to stay in field, or is the assistant referee's flag up over on that far side? It looks as though we'll have a look upstairs, but you never bet against Simon Zebo finishing even in those tightest of situations.
Flag went up pretty early. The touchdown was confident.
Yes,
we've no harm in checking it.
On-field no try to believe he's in touch.
Munster could be guilty of butchering a really good opportunity there. Conor Murray had 5 or 6 players outside him, chose to go himself. And then when eventually they did go wide,
we've not seen it, but we do have an advantage for you anyway.
Skip pass, which might not have been needed.
No.
Just watch here as the tackle comes in.
No, there's no knock on. We're capped, there's no knock on us. So.
Yeah. It's the right foot trailing out, isn't it?
He's in touch, so yeah. No try, we go back for the advantage. 4 offside.
As you said, Simon Zebo was so deadly in those circumstances. You never think he's going to get it. He's got so much strength and such good footwork.
4 offside.
Robbie Jenkinson is the assistant referee over on that far side. He was pretty sure in real time, confirmed by the replay. 14-7 it remains.
Arrive up. Yeah.
Back we go for the penalty. And here come Munster again. With Barron first and foremost. Good latch that time. They go for Farrell. Oh, that's absolutely magnificent. Now, can Zebo get the ball down, or can Cardiff hold him up again? That was really inventive. Beautiful sleight of hand out the back door, and that's where it counts against the attacking team again. It's going to be a goal line dropout.
Incredible piece of defence from Amos, I think it is. Just gets the left hand underneath Simon Zebo.
It's not ahead.
Chris Farrell is so good at that little loop play. Brilliant timing from Simon Zebo. I think it's Amos and is it Lane?
We're playing, he's in goal, he's out the way, we're playing.
It's a big opportunity lost, but what a game, what a start in this first 15 minutes, end to end. Brilliant rugby from both sides.
Drop goal attempt here from Ben Healy. It is one of the features of this new adaptation
22.
of the laws, is when you get a goal line dropout. We're seeing it in the Southern Hemisphere at Loftus Versfield and at altitude.
No, 22 is a drop goal.
Manny Libok and Boeta Chamberlain have kicked drop goals from 50 metres. Yeah.
Stuart Hoggs won a couple of weeks ago, was incredible.
Drop goals 22 only.
Ben Healy, to be fair, has a massive brute of a ball, so we're giving the benefit of the doubt, but that definitely wasn't one of his best.
Get off there!
Well, it's great to watch and it's highly entertaining, but I agree with you. I think Munster will be disappointed they didn't score. They did have huge numbers to the left-hand side on that last attack. They'll also be concerned by the fact that Cardiff have opened them up 2 or 3 times. Great to see Thomas Ahern get his opportunity, and it was a massive hit from the second row, and then he drives over the top, and that's what he brings. Fist pump on the floor.
Counter is legal. 1 Cardiff putting the ball on the ground.
Great to see.
There's been a lot of talk about Thomas Ahern over the last couple of years, and since he's gotten his opportunity, you can see how much it means to these young players to get picked for Munster and how much effort they put in. Great tackle first off, and then the second counter ruck along with Alice Kindellan.
Yeah, time's off.
Big piece of play from the 2 youngsters. You know, it gives such a boost to a team, and you get young lads like that. And even if you look at the Munster bench today, I think there's it's all 21, 22-year-olds. The oldest player on the bench is 26 years of age. So there's plenty of youth and spread across this squad.
I'll grab one from Munster just now,
It's going to be a squad effort, I think, to finish out this season for Munster. So a lot of these players are going to get loads of opportunities.
Yeah, I'm just looking down at that list. It hadn't really resonated with me, but when Joey Carberry is the oldest player on the bench, it really says something. We just saw Thomas Ahern there at 22. The Waterford man, Alex Kindellan, in there alongside him at 21.
I've had one, cheers.
Cardiff going to be forced into a switch. They'll see Matthew Screech come in here.
What are you doing? You go both, perfect. Are you able to do this at the side and we'll just take the shot goal now? Is that okay?
Rory Thornton not at all happy. That left shoulder, it seems, disappointing for him.
It's been a great start, hasn't it? There've always been good battles between Munster and Cardiff over the years. And they've been a bit of a bogey team, Cardiff and Munster. Some great wins here, and they come to play today, that's for sure. And I think Munster guilty maybe of putting too many players into the breakdown at times, and Cardiff spotting that there's plenty of opportunities. And Amos looks like a major threat at 15.
And they do have that explosive quality in the back three. As you say, they won here in September of 2016, a very tight, entertaining game, 24-23. Never in any doubt. He's been kicking exceptionally well.
Doesn't half kick it, does he? You can hear the punt and runs right through the ball.
Yeah, it keeps going, it stays hit.
You got ball? Yeah, all good. Pretty good, yeah. Same for me.
Down here a few weeks ago for the Benetton game when Munster played extremely well. That was a highly entertaining game as well, and Ben Healy kicked exceptionally well. Points against Benetton. Not much last month. He's generally up around 80% these days, which is pretty good. He's got his last 17 kicks now in a row, which is a pretty good streak. Up it goes from Conor Murray, and well claimed. Another big hit going in from Thomas Ahern there as well, as Navidi carries it on for Cardiff. Evans. Through they come with Max Llewellyn, using that physicality that he has at 16.5 stone and 6'5". Navidi pops one back inside. First real touch for Matthew Screech, newly introduced off the bench, and Evans once more. Again, he's willing to carry it flat to the line and try and hold those, fix those Munster defenders. Ball is offloaded. That was smart play and good play. Reece Carey now almost up to the 22. Evans. Ratty this time is the option. Conor Murray is in there. Ball available for the scrum half, and Evans has his hands on it once again. Ray Lilo. He has that step that you're always wondering, is he going to go on the inside? Calvin Nash was over it, and now it's real sloppy ball, and this time John Klein has it, and Munster have turned it over. Farrell now. Really good contest. Healy. O'Mahony to Scannell. And Scannell decides to open his shoulders. Munster all the way up to halfway, having turned the ball over. That was ambitious. Now did it go forward off Thomas Ahern? We'll have to have a little bit of a look at that. Into the hands of Jeremy Loughman.
Yeah, just slightly behind Thomas Ahern, wasn't it? Reached back and it looked like it was a good spot from the referee. I think it did just slightly go forward.
Forward pass.
Again, really encouraging for Munster to play out of their own half there. Great counter ruck here from Calvin Nash and Chris Farrell. Ball spins out, and Thomas Ahern is so quick to dive on it. Like it might have come off Josh Navidi first just to take it out of. Again, great intent to offload, isn't it, out of the tackle? You saw that try that Keith Earl scored last weekend in Ravenhill that came from offloads there with Allende to Jenkins to Klein, keeping the ball alive, and it's a beautiful evening for rugby.
I've made my decision. It's a scrum, Cardiff.
Both teams more than capable of throwing the ball around and playing a great attacking style of rugby.
Always a good crowd, and always a vociferous crowd in Cork. Yeah, it's a funny thing about Munster at the moment. I mean, they get bogged down in statistics, and I'll tell you a very simple one is that they've lost 4 of their last 7 games, and yet they seem to be on an upward curve, and that's based more so on performances and a willingness to try and play a little bit of expansive rugby. I think more so than the fact that, you know, they're not winning every game, but there is that ambition, and we saw it in the try. We've seen it already this evening.
Yeah, I think Going down to South Africa a few weeks back was a tough trip. There were 2 losses, was disappointing, but since then they've really kicked on.
Cardiff really kicking on here. Good again between the halfbacks. Jared Evans to Lloyd Williams, and it's only the hands of Josh Navidi that let him down. They could easily have been in there for a third try again. They had numbers to the right-hand side. They caught Munster very much on the back foot and napping a little bit.
Somewhere Munster have been exposed a lot over the last few weeks is set-piece defence. Really good run from Evans, great inside tracking from Williams.
Get that one back. Hold on.
It's just Jack O'Donoghue who gets a hand in it.
Crucial intervention, but here they come off set piece again. These launch plays are proving very effective because they do have elusive runners, the likes of Owen Lane taking the ball at pace into contact there, and Max Llewellyn now again. 23rd minute in the game.
You're lifted it.
Cardiff come looking once more. Reece Carey again, who has carried well. Ahern again with another tackle. Evans again with plenty of options. This time they go straight through the middle with Seb Davies. Ben Healy has to make a good tackle. This is both of them now. Again, it's another tackle from Thomas Ahern, and it leads to a Munster turnover. Ahern's getting through a par of work, and John Klein has been in really good form of late. Candellin. Conor Murray to O'Donoghue now. Pops it away to John Ryan.
Onside.
Murray dropping one just short of the 10-metre line. Good take again from Evans.
Hughes.
Seb Davies this time testing Jeremy Barron, playing in the second row tonight.
Hughes.
Seb Davies, he was used at number 6 across the Six Nations by Wayne Pivac. And 2 Munster players going for this. Conor Murray didn't have to get into the air because it was plucked out of the sky by Chris Farrell. Cardiff cover the back field principally with Evans. He's having to come a long way to try and get that Conor Murray box kick. Picked up instead by Lloyd Williams. The referee's indicating it was knocked on from a Munster hand, so Cardiff advantage. Ratty again.
No. Cardiff Hughes.
And this time Williams just slows it down and kicks long. Should be comfortable for Healy. Can he spot a little way through the traffic? Solid shoulder, Lockman. Healy, that's lovely disguise and variation, and Barron now slings it wide to Farrell. And Farrell not stopped. Almost went over the top of Cabango, and Munster still going now deep into that Cardiff 22, recycling and looking ominous again. Lockman, Conor Murray, Ahern trying to show his athletic ability and his footwork. Healy once more, and they thought they were going to wrap around. Brilliant disguise from Healy, lovely feet, elusive running. That's a slick score from the fullback. Great game we're having.
No, he deserves it, Mike Healy. He started all of that. What I love about when Mike Healy takes a long kick, he's very settled, but then once he gets it, he explodes into action. Always breaks the first tackle. No mean feet breaking through. Let Josh Navidi like that, and then it's just quick ball. Great break from Diarmaid Barron, and a lovely pass out wide to Chris Farrell, who managed to get not held in the tackle, so he got up and went again. And then it was just patience, brilliant delay of a pass. Thank you. Great line from Mike Healy.
Thanks, Lou.
Super finish from such a solid and reliable player, and he's much more than that besides.
He really is. I mean, if we're talking about the summer tour, I think Mike Healy has to be in the conversation as well. Obviously, Hugo Keenan is just a By far, out in front is the Irish starting full back, and then you've Mike Lowry, who's done so well, but outside of that, I don't think he can do much more. He's so reliable, so good under the high ball, but how often we see him pop up as assistant or try assists, and the last man is putting players away, but that ability to break a first defender is first tackle is so important.
Pio Camango has disappeared down the tunnel underneath us to go off for a HIA following that collision with Chris Farrell in the build-up to the try. Yeah, Mike Haley, 16th start of the season, and before tonight just one try, a brilliant try as it was against Ulster at Thomond Park. He's got 2 inside the opening 27 minutes or so here.
Use it.
Gareth Smith, by the way, as you can see, has come in for Cabango. It's relentless from both teams in terms of the pace of the game, ball and play time, and the fact that they're slinging it from east to west at every available opportunity. Lloyd Williams again. Dylan Lewis this time involved, and Cardiff driving on with Christian Dacey.
Thanks, Mark.
Flat to the line, good line taken again by Seb Davis. He looks very athletic and sharp tonight. Llewellyn, and here's Amos. Alarm bells ringing every time he gets his hands on it. Coming into the line late and taking that beautiful angle. Williams again, Dacey once more. Kendellen, Munster open side with the tackle now. Evans, always with that radar working. Munster were over the ball with Thomas Ahern, but couldn't quite get his hands on it, taken on by Dylan Lewis. Davies again, he almost broke the tackle. Ben Healy has to go back for a second nibble to bring him down. There's a Cardiff player looking pretty uncomfortable over on that far side. That's a big 2-man tackle. Munster driving through with John Ryan, and once again, I think that's the 4th time now they've turned over Cardiff. Ball inside their own half.
It's outside.
2 or 3 right up around that 22 as well. Lockman now. Murray has to go in and play. John Klein.
Let me get. Use it.
Conor Murray sizing up the kick again. And once again he goes long and easy for Evans. Owen Lane. And he just tried to pinch a yard or 2 on the floor. You can't get away with that these days.
Yeah, well picked up, just
14 extra rolls, top 10 competing legally.
It's very interesting. You can see with the way Cardiff are attacking, it's such an attritional form of attack. Jared Evans is asking so much, and Williams, they're asking so much of their forward pack that it's really, you can see them out there, they're all blowing a little bit. It's really impressive, but I feel you don't know how much more they can keep that up.
It's really keep that
side to side, quick ball, and Munster then are picking them off. Then any rucks that are maybe a little bit thin with players, Munster just
be getting kicks at
goal,
goal, just a bit of water.
Thanks, mate. Pushing for counter rucks, and it's like maybe Amos, who's been the most dangerous player, might have pulled a hamstring there.
Yeah. So Reece Priestland is going to have to come in, which means you fancy that Jared Evans might go to full back, and that'll change the dynamic of this Cardiff attack, surely.
What's that?
It's really disappointing for Hallam Amos.
How's the chat? All right.
Obviously retiring at the end of the year, amazingly enough, at only is he 27 years of age, which doesn't look good, so this could be his last game.
Nice on that first scrum. Nice balance, I like that. Yeah, it's good, yeah, you keep that.
Well, that would be really disappointing.
It's so easy.
As you say, yeah, he's hanging up the boots at the end of the season. 25 times cap Welsh player with so much talent. You remember he burst onto the regional scene when he was at the Dragons as a teenager, came through and played his first senior game at 17, I think it was.
I think when he announced it, there was a lot of surprise, a lot of questions asked. He's a qualified doctor. I think that was his
they're happy, you're
all along, but it's just so strange to see someone so young.
Cool, I'll keep an eye on it.
to commend him for it. I think both his parents were doctors. I remember seeing an interview with him at the time.
You were competing, you knew where it
he
is.
was very passionate about that he wanted to move into it. I think when young talented players like that are few and far between, so Di Young will be disappointed to see him go.
It's easy to read too much into it, but you see even by the look of resignation on his face that sadly that may be it for Hallamemos.
Good, yeah. End of the line's good. Just on the end of here's good. Yeah, you're there.
10 years since he made his debut against the Ospreys, arrived at Cardiff in 2019. He's causing all manner of problems, so Di Young forced to shuffle the deck, rethink his strategy. Munster with a good attacking platform here.
Ball in the 5.
Conor Murray, then it goes to Scannell, makes good progress again. Kendellen, wasn't too many Munster players around him. Here's Ahern. Conor Murray again. John Klein, who's carrying well, and James Botham, who always tackles well.
The advantage not rolling.
Lockman to Healy, and pops that one back inside to Kendellen again.
Munster advantage.
Munster trying to manufacture an overlap on that side. Did that go forward from Scannell? Zebo. Again, they're really struggling to put him to ground straight away. So elusive and dynamic. That's a really big hit from Rhys Carey on John Ryan.
Fine. Back for the node and rolling.
Back we go for the penalty advantage.
Simon Zebo's ability to just explode through tackles, keep the legs pumping. So difficult to put down. Great hands from Chris Farrell and Rory Scannell out the back.
What you want?
Really good lines from Alex Kendellen twice in that phase of play there as well.
Shot gold.
He looks wise beyond his years, only 21. Great footwork there. I think he was accused of maybe running into a few too many players last weekend up in Ravenhill. So it's good to see him picking softer shoulders this week.
Oh, it's me, yeah.
Man of the match
you feel me when you're
last
100 boys
weekend,
in that
of
mall.
course, made his first Heineken Cup start at Sandy Park, which is always a difficult place to go. As you say, he's exponentially rising in terms of his stock level. Nothing seems like too big a jump for him, and that was clear even when he was captain of the under-20s. He seemed so far ahead of his peers even at that time.
I think another guy who can play across the back row as well, and he's absolutely deadly from 5-6 yards out. And once they get into that green zone, and proved he had some huge turnovers over the last few weeks as well. So deadly on the ground.
So Munster now just keep that scoreboard ticking. No mistake whatsoever from Ben Healy. Looks full of confidence. Why wouldn't they enjoy what's been an exhilarating opening 33 minutes here? 20 points to 14, 4 tries. Plenty to admire from both teams.
Use it. Let's go.
Long from Murray this time and into touch just shy of halfway. Just his second URC start of the season for Conor Murray, having played against Leinster in that game at Thomond Park.
He's in the way of where we're going to go, I think. Time off. He's in the way of where we're going to play.
Requiring some attention. It's Dermot Barron.
What's that? Is that what you're happy with? So I felt
Scott Buckley is the replacement, of course, on the bench at 21.
He's in the way where you're going to attack. You going that way? You're not going to come back.
Interesting tactics from kickoffs from Munster there. As I said earlier on, they're choosing to kind of go for touch now from their exiting. Conor Murray, you saw a few times
He's
today
only had
already,
one
not
scrum.
really quite reaching the touchline. We saw it last week, Craig Casey going to touch a lot. They're kind of trusting their line-out defence, getting Peter O'Mahony up there maybe to put the line out under pressure.
Yeah, what are we thinking?
Which is, I think it's something that a lot of the fans would have been happy to remove him from the box kicks that we've been so used to over the years.
You good?
And look, it's one of those, it's a kind of a horses for courses approach. You can't see it every week. And yet tonight here we are 35 minutes in, and they're so happy to throw the ball. Like we saw from the Chris Farrell from a set play as well, just something a little bit different, something inventive. It doesn't have to happen every week, but sometimes it can be a fairly rigid set game plan. Now that's going forward on the floor. So we will have another set piece put into the scrum for Munster.
Yeah. I'll tell them. Is this going to need a time off, Jack? No. Right, let's go. Form the scrum.
Once again, those
knock on.
Small little errors coming.
Really good first.
About because of Munster's
really
physicality.
Nice first scrum. He's really happy. So same on their ball, please. Same on their ball, please.
He came through the academy at Cardiff Blues and thus far has won 9 caps for Wales. Debut back in 2019 against Connacht.
Ready.
Let's go, Carey.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Hold. Yes, Munster.
5 minutes to half time and Conor Murray tries to ignite Simon Zebo over on that far side. Klein. And again they shift the point of attack. That was good hands again. Ryan now, and again it's that big pass over the top, doesn't quite make it all the way to Calvin Nash, who had to use his footballing skills to bring it under control. Not easy on this 4G surface. Managed to retain possession. Jeremy Loughman now. There for Murray and John Ryan. We've seen plenty of it. The tight head prop who made his debut against Cardiff back when they played at the Cardiff City Stadium. Some 11 years ago now it was.
Not for me.
Reece Priestland coming a long way through the traffic there, and ball didn't go to hand for either him or Ben Healy.
10. Hughes. Hughes.
Shapes to kick. Gareth Smith near side is poised to lead the kick chase. Ratty there too, and Mike Healy took it well. Again, Munster getting the ball out of contact. Post tackle, O'Donoghue. Murray. It's a good chase from Ben Healy. It's a good contest. It's a contest that Healy looks like winning, and he has won it. Munster have it. Kick over the top, inviting the chase from O'Donoghue. Real pressure for Priestland. It's so hard to resist in that situation when the adrenaline's pumping. The try line is beckoning not to drop on the player who goes back on the ball, in this case Priestland from O'Donoghue.
Yeah, he just spilled it a little bit, didn't he, Priestland? And Jack O'Donoghue, I think, just got ahead of himself. He'll be frustrated with that. It was a good option from Conor Murray.
One of you guys pushed them in that
from a box
kick.
kick there
They
for
didn't cause what
Ben
happened.
Healy.
If it does, it would get a
Calvin
penalty
Nash
against
just
them.
pulled up thinking he was offside.
I didn't believe it was an escort. Just make sure you don't push. If it is an escort, I'll penalise. But if they push, I'll just penalise that, okay? Thanks, Josh. Thanks, mate. Josh.
Gareth Smith, by the way,
Josh,
has gone
number
back
8,
off,
just make sure he doesn't do it again.
Theo Cabango has come back on, having passed his HIA,
I'll make sure
which is
that
good news for
can't
Cardiff.
push. Any injuries? Time on. Is it? Oh, sorry, it's race. Time off still.
I think everyone's kind of trying to take a breather over the last 10 minutes, aren't they? It was such an explosive first 20 minutes to this game.
I agree, but make sure there's no escort line.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, had to settle down eventually after the breakneck pace of the opening 20 minutes or thereabouts.
Diving on the player. Thanks, 2 minutes.
2 minutes to half time. Confirmed, as you hear from the referee.
Nice, Frank. Thanks. That's where you are.
I mentioned the fact that their form has been very poor of late since beating Leinster in that dramatic game when Jared Evans kicked that 80-minute penalty to beat Leinster for the first time in a long, long time at the Arms Park. They've only managed to win one of their next 8 games, but it was against
Cardiff,
Glasgow.
Please. They're good, you come in.
Pretty big scalp to take considering how well they've gone this season, albeit their form has dropped off a little bit. But they're still very much in the hunt for a quarter-final playoff. So too Edinburgh. And the South African sides across the next couple of games going to have a really big say in who gets through and who has home advantage. Calvin Nash, now if he can get through the gears before you lay a glove on him, you could be in trouble. Gets his pass away to Healy, who's on a hat-trick, of course. Munster have hands on, and they have Ben Healy, and he's through a big gap now. Can they get support to him? Kendellen, really good for Munster again. Offloading the ball out of contact, and Healy's looked very sharp. He's all the time looking for those gaps, and Farrell gets his hands free. In comes Healy, keeps it alive. Oh, Calvin Nash now using that pace that he has, and they're very close again. And this time they don't reach for the line, they recycle. They're over surely now, and Munster do get the try. And again, it's breathtaking, breathless stuff. There's loads of variety, loads of variation, and it all ends in a second try in Munster colours for the big second row, Thomas Ahern.
Brilliant finish from Thomas Ahern. Any young player is watching this, it's all about intent. Look at the intent in Calvin Nash's running. Mike Healy on his shoulder, great support line, and then it's the same from Ben Healy. Spots the gap, puts the head down, it's the afterburners on, great break, looking for the offload. Decides to just carry. And then it's all about quick ball. Calvin Nash involved again. Great offload to Mike Healy, who almost got over, but great rucking from Conor Murray there. It's just good body position and a good latch on Thomas Ahern.
Thanks, Leo.
He's had a really good half all around the park. All action, as you might expect. Just his 5th start for Munster, remember. 3rd of the season, and his first since that game against Ulster in January. It's another beautiful strike from Ben Healy, and a fitting end to an exhilarating half of URC rugby at Musgrave Park in Cork. It's now 20 consecutive kicks from the kicking tee for the Munster fly half, who's been front and centre right around the park. But Munster have 3 tries, and they're in their box seat at half time. They lead Cardiff by 27 points to 14. Welcome back. Goal set to go then for the second 40 minutes, and it's Cardiff first out from their half-time team talk as Johan van Graan retakes his position over to our left-hand side at the back of the stand, and Cardiff out early, as they were indeed when they started the game, through that man's try. Seb Davies inside the opening 2 minutes of the game, converted by Jared Evans, and that set the wheels in motion for a topsy-turvy opening 15 or 20 minutes. It was swinging one way and the next. Mike Healy with a couple of tries. Ray Lilo in between times went in for Cardiff second. Just getting the sense maybe that Cardiff exerted a lot of energy inside that opening 20-25 minutes, and Munster seemed to go through the gears and kick on in the latter part of that first half. But it was certainly, from a neutral point of view, a brilliant watch, and really more of the same in the second half. Munster will, of course, need to kick on and get that bonus point try. They really must take 5 points. The Bulls beating Glasgow, by the way, already today down in South Africa. It's so tight at the top of the table, they need everything.
Yeah, bonus point is key here. They'll they want to get the win to secure to keep them in the competition, but they'll definitely want to come out of here with 5 points. And with the bench they have to come on here, a lot of excitement to come off there. You'd hope that they'll kick on. And Josh, a lot of questions maybe asked this year about the amount of changes week in, week out for the Munster side. That maybe just takes them a little bit longer to get into the swing of things in each game, because they're not used to. They usually don't start very, very strong, so that could be one of the reasons. But they certainly kicked into gear after about 5-10 minutes of that first half. So see if it can be more of the same.
Jack O'Donoghue last out, so Munster do have the full complement of 15, and it's a high hanging restart to the second half from Ben Healy, who looked really sharp in that opening 40. Taken in by James Ratsey, ball called by Sam Grove-White. Munster getting the ball. Swallowing up the Cardiff back rower, and again in the thick of the action is that man Thomas O'Hearn, who dotted down for that third Munster try right on half time.
Same as the last one, please.
Really does have big moments, doesn't he?
Same as the last one.
Very switched on. Around it. Klein that gets him there first. And Klein has been really important for Munster over the last few months, getting through in a mountain of work every game. Except from John Ryan there. John Ryan, of course, off to Wasps next year. Big loss for Munster, big move for him.
Crouch!
He's going to be just a couple shy, you feel, of that elite 200 club. 194th appearance tonight for John Ryan. Please. That man in your picture very much at the other end of the scale, Alex Kendall, just 21 years of age. 12 years, John Ryan's junior.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Specific instructions there from Conor Murray to Alex Kendall, and again they go to the short side with Healy. Back inside towards Conor Murray, but once again it breaks down when they try and work that blind side option off the scrum. Breakdown in communication and execution. Christian Dacey meanwhile has it for Cardiff, and Lloyd Williams requires a little bit more protection than that.
Kind of opened up for Conor Murray there, didn't he? But he just offloaded to Ben Healy through a loose pass. Incredible pickup from both of them off the ground. Great clearance from Williams.
On the line. Defence on the line, please. On the line is easy. Sorry. Yeah, there is. Do you want to sort it?
32 now, Lloyd Williams, and
yeah, we'll get you on the line. Stay there.
39th appearance. Talking about stalwarts and servants of the shirt.
Munster, they're on the line to 1 metre, please.
Exceptional credentials down the years for Cardiff.
Good.
Brother was a scrum half. His father, their father was a scrum half too, who toured with the Lions, of course, many moons ago.
One leave now, please. One out.
We all remember that try he created in the World Cup.
Out as well, 19.
Rubber kick to beat England.
It's Jeremy Barron who comes up with the ball and tries to sneak around that short side. The second time now, just Munster not really on the same wavelength, but Zebo looking to make amends. Murray again to Barron, running straight and true at Josh Navidi. Occupational hazard, comes with a health warning against the Cardiff open side, and Lockman finds a little bit of space. Good footwork from the loose head prop. Conor Murray again now. Healy ball in two hands. Swallowed up by both of them. Oh, ball goes loose there for Conor Murray. And it did go forward.
Was it either ripped or a loose offload from Ben Healy? Just a little bit loose there from Munster over the last couple of minutes. And Healy kind of switching either side.
Your space was good first half, you're just a bit close. It was fine, but was that? I thought the weight was good.
Yeah, good rip. Jared Evans.
Hold your weight, I'll watch them. I agree.
Sure if it went forward though.
Some impressive stats. We were actually talking about him off air at half-time. He's always so impressive, so dependable. And he finds himself tonight already on a hat-trick, and you would not bet against him.
Yeah, they're both on their knees. Not pretty.
Yeah, hard to believe he's still only 27, Mike Healy. It's got so much experience. He had a lot of games when he was in Sale in England.
Let's not make stability a problem.
And since he's come to Munster, you feel like he's almost been ever-present in 15 jersey.
Yeah, I remember being at his debut at Thomond Park against the Cheetahs' first game of the season, 2018-2019. He went on to make 26 starts that season, and it's been pretty much par for the course over the last 3 years. We were saying as well, Simon Zebo, a player of that pedigree, comes back. Not even a word that maybe he would replace Mike Healy at fullback. He's been so dependable. But here come Cardiff meantime, trying to make hay over on that far side. Good to see Cabango coming back in after that bang to the head in the first half. Really talented, explosive player, brings so much
We've got 2 and 2
to that Cardiff back three.
Both teams. I thought you were early for the set.
It's good covering from Chris Farrell there, just keeping his body open. It's a really difficult position to defend in the 13 channel when you're down numbers. Using the touchline as a defender there. Priestland just puts a little bit too much on it.
No more Cardiff.
Dermot Barron, who made his Munster debut against Cardiff, and then he had to wait a little over 2.5 years to make his first Munster start thereafter.
Use it. Yeah, please.
Up it goes from Murray. Straight forward for Cabango. Important tackle before he can get those wheels in motion. Evans under a little bit of pressure, but he's so often very good at getting out of those situations. That intuitive game that he has, mercurial number 10. Both of them running into Jean Clyde.
Use it.
Healy watching this one. Again, he's up early and takes it so comfortably. Looking to offload the ball out of the tackle, but he got his arm free, and that presented the opportunity for Cardiff to swarm around him and turn it over. Priestland kicks it in behind. Calvin Nash, who was heavily involved in the build-up to that third Munster try with a couple of really good carries.
Typical, we build up Mike Healy and he makes his first mistake of the game. Well covered from Calvin Nash in the backfield.
Eighth start of the campaign for Calvin Nash. There's so many options in the Munster back three these days. You've got to really try and take every opportunity. He got a big start in the game against Leinster at Thomond Park. Played both games down in South Africa, both of which Munster lost. But then so do most teams when they go down there, as Glasgow found out earlier today against the Bulls, who took all 5 points to go up to currently sit second in the table. Williams, Evans, Priestland delays on the pass to Owen Lane. Big collision with Zebo right down in front of us here. Evans into contact, Owen Lane with both of them, and Ray Lilo there in close attendance. Cardiff taking Munster through the phases, but as yet not really making too many inroads. We're going to get a penalty though. Munster player is on the wrong side. Lane again, both of them. Very little pitch to work in. And back we go for the penalty.
Yeah, John Klein just looked like he landed on the wrong side. He was pinned in there. See his legs flailing, trying to get out of there.
Just on me, Charles.
Again, a soft penalty for Munster, who seem to have the pitch well filled.
Josh, what's the call?
See, it's a very
we'll go now then.
difficult position to get yourself in when you're trying to want to hold players up or not allow them to get over the gain line, but always
on the camera, man.
at the risk of giving away that penalty if falling on the wrong side.
Yeah, your guy's been class, so I'll watch him.
He's been pretty vocal about the challenges that his side have faced this season. Of course, everything for Cardiff in the early part of the campaign was dominated by the fact that things went so horribly against them on their trip to South Africa, but they struggled to get any real momentum, both in terms of games played or indeed wins on the ledger. Just when it looked like they might get some momentum there, Munster have turned over the ball. Zebo slings it out to Conor Murray, managed somehow to keep his feet in play. O'Mahony, and again there's that intent for Munster not to die with the ball, keep it alive and offload it. It's a little bit cavalier at times. It's good to watch though.
Use it.
Klein again, offering himself every single time.
Use it.
And this time it's a more conventional Munster exit strategy all the way downfield. Evans now, did he put a foot in touch? If he did, it was only just.
If I think it's a high tackle, I'll give it, but shouting at me 3 times for it. I didn't shout. One of your players did, I thought it was you. Yeah, that's, I agree, so it's their ball. No. So what's your call?
So I think he's in touch as he catches it.
So it's a Cardiff.
Yeah,
Cardiff ball.
Straight out.
The AR's called.
Cardiff who will get the throw, just looking down at a Munster player receiving some attention. It's
time's up.
Jim McBarron, I think.
That's him bringing it in.
Incredible clearance from Conor Murray.
The ball, I think the ball's crossed the plate.
Jared just didn't, wasn't sure whether he was in touch or not, or Jared Evans, and thankfully for him, he was on the line when he caught it, so that means it's a Cardiff ball. Really good from Peter O'Mahony in his own line there. We haven't seen a huge amount of him tonight, but he's getting through a lot of the grunt work.
He's going off
doing the flashy stuff. He's been smashing
for
ropes.
2 lads.
Jim McBarron is not happy that he can continue, so Scott Buckley is going to replace him.
Please. Cardiff, line is yours. Line's Cardiff's. Munster.
Another player coming through the ranks, both Jim McBarron, of course, now 23, and Scott Buckley only 21, but Barron's having a good season, making the most of significantly more opportunities this campaign. As I said, his 9th start of the season, but good to see young Scott Buckley come in, a player of real promise. Just his 8th appearance, having made that explosive Munster debut in the Heineken Cup game across against Wasps when he scored a try and was man of the match, no less. Now Zebo. Healy. Thomas Ahern using those big levers to fend off Josh Navidi. 12 minutes into the second half and the scores remaining as they were. The break, oh, Healy.
Forward into touch by Munster.
Good contest in the air, and he thought he might have deserved a little bit of luck having got his 2 tries, and he would have had a counter in for a third if that landed in the breadbasket.
He almost got it at the second bite, didn't he? Kept his eyes on it, but just stumbled. Went over his left arm. Great contest. We've enjoyed that one. Munster feel they need a spark here to get them back into this into the second half.
Scrum to you. Line out.
A lot of ball in their own half now in and around this 10-metre line. Ben Healy maybe doesn't use his right foot enough in situations like that. He's got such a big boot.
So Marcus
here. Grass back there.
Nice defence.
Like that Cardiff back three.
He's good.
Wouldn't be around for maybe dealing with long kicks and a really good kick chase game, Munster. So I feel maybe Ben Healy needs to play a bit more positional.
He found his target, and Cardiff come around the corner with their captain Navidi.
Use it.
A lot more kicking in the second half, which has dictated the tempo of the game. Long this time from Williams. Zebo is there. He gets away from both of them. That's Navidi over the ball. He had rights to it, and it's back there for Cardiff, and both of them now hurdling over the remnants of that ruck and explosively up into the 22. Great carry from the blindside flanker. Puts Cardiff into prime position here. It's the two wing forwards combining. Navidi with the initial turnover, and then a great carry from both of them. Here's Williams now. Navidi wants it again. Both of them on his shoulder. Priestland. Double helping of playmaker, of course, with Evans in there now. They can switch that up and keep Munster guessing. It was Llewellyn who took it on. Williams once more. Navidi came on that short line. Cardiff keep it in tight. Going to the forwards. Llewellyn again. Two Munster players together. That was a solid hit. Owen Lee in there as it's slowed down a fraction now. Cardiff reload and go again through their number 8, James Ratty. Lewis takes it on. Kildown again. Great pace off that defensive line. Oh, little step, that's beautiful. That is absolutely archetypal brilliance of scrum half play from the vastly experienced Lloyd Williams, who just picks that hole. Munster looking left and right to the wider channels, and he goes straight through the centre.
Oh, brilliant vision he's done, John Ryan, with a little show going, a dummy.
He made a defensive error.
Really good patience from Cardiff.
Do it again.
That's just a natural 9 with an eye for a gap. Don't see it very often these days. Spotted John Ryan. A bit of oh, look at that left foot step, absolutely beautiful.
Thanks, Leo.
It's actually Jeremy Lockman. Apologies.
15 minutes since we spoke, lads. How are we feeling?
Yep, fully aware. Great awareness and sharpness. Lovely step.
It's really just a game now, isn't it?
Yeah, as a contest, that's exactly what the game needed. We were just saying seconds ago that Munster need a spark. Well, Cardiff have found one through Lloyd Williams.
You'd have been proud of that. We sniping 9. I still have a bit of that pace.
And the extras added with the minimum of fuss from Jared Evans, and all of a sudden it's very much game back on again. 27 points to 21. And we were talking about Cardiff's motivation and their run of poor results. They do have a couple of games in hand, of course, in the URC, as Munster, by the way, make a couple of changes in the front row. So Josh Wycherley and Keelan Knox going to come in. We've already seen Scott Buckley in for Jim McBarron, so it's a brand new front row. But Cardiff have got to play Zebra and Dragons before their last match of the season away against Benetton. There is a possibility that they could still catch the Scarlets at the top of the Welsh regional pool and thereby qualify for Europe. It's unlikely, but it is still a live possibility.
Use it.
Before all that, can they catch Munster? They put themselves in a position to do it.
Yes, please.
Sensible exit strategy and option there, having just scored.
There's good. End of the line. End of the line.
Yeah, great to see Scott Buckley getting another run, as you said, man of the match over in Wasps before Christmas. It wasn't just his try that night or his work around the field, but he had 100% line outs that night. really sharp
Just
darts.
10.
And he finds Thomas O'Hearn. Switch back into Murray, and now Healy up to Farrell. Llewellyn there with a tackle. Murray just has to delay fractionally. Healy once more to Thomas O'Hearn.
Pull back.
O'Mahony called for it and he got it, and he makes a couple of metres through the tackle as well. On it goes from Josh Wycherley. Scott Buckley, Munster bench getting involved. Slow ball for the improvising Calvin Nash, who plays scrum half. Healy takes it on now. Zebo this time is over it. Nash there once more.
Off now,
Wycherley.
off feet. You're off feet, affected it.
Yeah, the penalty is
Yeah,
against Navidi. I think it might have been Ratty over it.
I thought you
We
were
felt he
on the
was
side
in
of
a
the ball,
legitimate place to get a jackal turnover.
Off feet, Cardiff.
Maybe just off his feet, not supporting his body weight.
Yeah, cool. Time off.
Defended that very well, Cardiff, and Munster kind of hard to see what they're trying to do here. They were so good last week at using the width, getting the full width of the field, staying very much in between the 10s here, coming back down blind when it's not really on.
You're going to go shot, are you perfect?
They're going to replace their two halfbacks momentarily, because Craig Casey and Joey Carberry are both ready to come in.
Water off now, please.
If you want to
Shot goal.
raise the tempo a little bit, he's a good man to
Shot goal.
bring that.
Water off,
And
please.
they have just, I won't say nodded off ever so slightly, but they've not been at the pitch of the game where the last 10-15 minutes of the first half, for example.
No, it's a strange one. Just needed a bit of needed tempo. You felt Cardiff were struggling going into the end of that first half to keep up with the pace that Munster were setting, but again, maybe it's the combinations. Something I've been thinking about recently is it's difficult when you're changing up your halfbacks each week and changing different combinations and your centres and your back three, that sometimes it takes a while to get into the flow. As I said, Craig Casey and Joey Carberry played so well up in Ravenhill last week that you'll hope for Munster's benefit that they'll be on the same page.
Healy's last act of the game, it would seem, is to split the uprights yet again. Really, really good kick. So Conor Murray going off. John Klein is also going off, and so too Ben Healy, who's now kicked 21 in a row from the kicking team. Brilliant the game tonight.
Yes, Knight.
Come on, Jimmy. Come on, Jimmy. Come on, Jimmy.
Carberry for Healy, Casey in for Conor Murray,
Outside.
and Jason Jenkins
Outside.
into the second row.
Use. Play on, it was back.
Zebo underneath it, cries of knock on. Referee quite clear in his instruction that it went backwards, and no second invitation required for Thomas O'Hearn to try and make some metres.
It was back into your play.
Disappointing for Dylan Lewis to see him go off with what looks like a nasty injury. Kieran Azarati, as you just saw, in his place. So the injury profile not great for Cardiff this evening as Peter O'Mahony breaks through a tackle. Carberry, lovely hands at full stretch to get that, and Kintellan a full pelt straight up the middle. Munster beginning now to warm to the task again. Jenkins, look at Casey, so quick, and then he scythed down. Was that high from Botham? Referee's assistant on the far side has indicated yes. Outstretched arm penalty coming. Scannell just resets the GPS. He was coming all the way left, nothing on, went straight back into contact. Jenkins, good hands. O'Donoghue Offload was there for Buckley, it went the other way, and it doesn't matter. Brilliant out of Munster, and a wonderful try for Craig Casey. He gets the try, he brings the tempo, he always makes a difference, and Munster are back at full tilt.
I'll tell you what, when they get it right, they get it very right. That was an absolutely brilliant try from start to finish. Incredible hands in the middle of the field from Josh Wycherley. A little loop pass with Joey Carberry. Peter O'Mahony started it all off down this left-hand side, barging his way over the gain line. And then a great line from Jack O'Donoghue. Brilliant support line from Craig Casey. We've seen him do that so many times for Munster.
Time off.
Athleticism from Jack O'Donoghue hopping over the tackle.
Time's off. Thanks, Leo.
So that is the all-important bonus point in the bag.
Thanks, Leo. PK only for me.
And Carberry adds the conversion.
It may in fact have been Thomas Ahern that started all that off. Making a big break up through the middle of the Cardiff defence. We all know that he was a converted from full-back. He was only playing as a forward for 2 years before he was professionally signed by Munster. It's really incredible achievement to watch him grow into such a brilliant second row. And you can see that athleticism and that speed and that eye for a gap that a full-back would naturally have.
O'Mahony solid under the Cardiff restart. Interesting to see what develops over the remaining 15 minutes or a little bit more than that. Will Munster kick on now, or will Cardiff, to their credit, as they have done 3 or 4 times in the game, come back into it? Healy. The work rate of Kindellan, I know he said every time he plays, but he's all over the pitch, incessant.
Stay here, Cardiff.
Good touch it goes from Evans over on that far side.
Yeah, good option from Carberry there on the front foot to kick the ball down deep into the Cardiff half.
Nice listening.
Great kick chase, but a brilliant clearance from Evans.
1 and 9. Yeah, good listening, get on fight.
A couple of further changes.
Time is off.
Kirby Myhill is also in. There's a change at scrum half for Cardiff as well. Jamie Hill will come in.
Munster.
Brad Tyre also coming in. Garen Smith coming in for Max Llewellyn.
7.
And in the back row too, Jenkins
Pete in and
for
set,
James
and then I'll put
Ratty.
time on, okay? Yeah, I agree.
Good to see Jack Daly, by the way, is back for Munster. First appearance since January. And as always, Munster fans out of their seats to applaud Jack O'Donoghue. What a season he's having. Straight into the action is Daly with hands on and Craig Casey, and now Munster beginning to throw it around again. Zebo ships a pretty heavy tackle. Casey. Carberry. Out the back it goes from Jenkins. Carberry again. Scannell with that left foot. Cavagno trapped it very neatly and tidily. And it's there for Hill, and now Navidi.
Way better.
Flurry of changes from both teams. Don't want to do anything to the momentum of the game. Healy. Nash.
You've pinned him in, play.
Cardiff player on the wrong side, but in case he can play it, referee allows play to continue. Carberry out the back to Healy. Scannell and Farrell now. Carberry, that was unorthodox, as it sometimes is from a player of his calibre, and that was brilliant from Casey.
Yeah, option.
Just one too far from Simon Zebo with the inside pass.
Summer line.
Look at that footwork from Craig Casey. He's like a boxer diving under punches.
So Josh will tell me.
Zebo, I think, memories of the incredible pass he threw against Exeter last 2 weeks ago.
Time off, we've got a second row down. We can't scrum.
Good intention there from Munster. I mean,
I think it was, for me,
far too often you see Craig Casey in that moment and he would actually kick the ball.
I think there's one where they might help you guys.
And it's something that it's ingrained in maybe the psyche in the moment that you kick it, but
my view is you get held them in.
That's probably more of his natural ability. It's just, you know, to show for kick and then dart under it and have a go himself. And I think you'll see that confidence come out in him more and more the more games he plays. He's such a leader. I think he's already pegged as, you know, a future captain of this Munster side. He's just growing into that role. Obviously, we know how good his passing is and his kicking ability, but such a good break,
front rows.
such a threat
around
well
balanced. Same for you, please.
Those rocks, we all
Push
know
and
what
square.
Anton Dupont can do as a diminutive kind of guy, that kind of power, and that's, you know, such a threat to have in your armour.
Crouch.
Well, certainly if he can incorporate that one-handed Dupont fend, such an asset to your arsenal. It's almost impossible to stop at times. Dupont, ridiculous strength. Well, we haven't seen too much of this man with space such as this in the game. Ray Lilo brought to ground up. Cardiff still working hard. Hill over the top from Evans, picked up here. And options as always for Munster as Farrell just bounces the first would-be tackler. Casey has to dig in there and try and get it, and then he just pops it down into the 22. That's good option, 12 minutes to go. 16-point advantage, bonus point in the bag.
We're inside.
Myhill this time hits his target, and Ellis Jenkins endeavours to get Cardiff moving again.
Cardiff use it.
Zebo underneath the kick from Hill. Healy. Both of them again has laboured well in that Cardiff back row this evening. It's been a much, much better display from Cardiff than they produced against the Ospreys last week. And they're over the ball here, and they're going to get the decision from Sean Grove White.
Holding.
The opportunity to pump this down into the Munster 22.
That sweep pass that Munster are playing to Carberry is working so well. Imagine just being a little bit forced there from Jenkins.
Big focus here. Don't step across. We'll get you the number.
Number 23,
On your front man, don't let him move. On your front man.
So Shane Daly in for Simon Zebo.
He'd be gutted not to get a try on his home turf tonight, but he had a good game, Simon Zebo. Shane Daly has been really impressive for Munster this year, so it's going to be an interesting battle over the next few months to see who gets that number 11 jersey.
Straight down by Blue.
Daly took his try really well against Exeter at Sandy Park. Really important try at that time in the game. Zebo tonight not adding to his 9 for the campaign this season. Both of them again, he's so strong. He won the penalty that has launched this Cardiff attack, and they do have numbers to the left-hand side. Evans popped it away to Lilo. And they're queuing up here. Maserati. Hill again. Seth Davies, he's had a really good game this evening. Switching the point of the attack this time. Munster seem to be numbered up okay on that far side. Ray Lilo beaten by the 4G surface, just lost his footing. Oh, is there space there for Lane? Haley stuck to the task and ball into touch over on the far side. It's going to be Munster ball.
Yeah, I didn't see that. Here's your mark. No.
Again, they're so dangerous when they get into phase play, Cardiff. Really good at spotting, and they get numbers up. And it's Peter O'Mahony that comes across here. Just knocks the ball out of Priestland's hand.
Backwards.
Anxious moments back there for Munster again. Casey forced to improvise.
Just one side. Thank you.
Working hard on the floor to secure clean possession here for Casey.
Use it.
He's not a huge amount of time to set himself. Botham was there lurking, and as a consequence, perhaps Casey didn't find his touch. Here's Owen Lane. That's a good tackle again from Chris Farrell. Loose from Hill. Nobody put a name on it. Taken forward by Kirby Myhill. That's good play out of contact from Jenkins to get it away to Botham. And somehow he's managed to stay in field over there. Priestland. And the option is on to sling one all the way to Lane. Here is, oh, that's a great step. And Lane now. Casey. Brilliant tackle from the replacement scrum half. Munster support around us in the stand enjoyed that, but Cardiff have kept hold of for long periods here, and they're still coming. Azarati again carries into contact. Priestland met by a solid challenge from Jack Daly. Jamie Hill again. Myhill. And once again they go to the left-hand side. Evans with Lilo in close attendance. Didn't have too many options, Cardiff, and that was well defended by Munster. A little bit of a juggle that time from Myhill, but he keeps a hold of it.
No sex.
74th minute of the game. Munster 37 points to 21. We're heading towards double figures in terms of the phase play from Cardiff, if they can keep hold of it with Garron Smith. Myhill again. Munster still tackling hard, tackling on the gain line. Candellan leading that particular charge. Both of them now. A dozen phases. No way through.
You are.
I'm going to try something different, try and mix it up. Not getting any change out of the Munster rearguard, still working very hard. Across the board, oh, that was the little switch in pass, looking for Cabango. And Munster tidy it up with Haley. All the way down there, just the... It's kept in by Botham, is it? No, I thought he'd managed it, but up goes the flag of the referee's assistant over on our far side. Thumping clearance from Haley and a great defensive set.
Absolutely, what a clearance from Haley. Great vision, just what Munster needed after all that work. Botham unlucky, worked so hard to get back, but just put a foot in touch.
Cardiff, there.
And tackle there from Jenkins. He dislodged the ball. You feel Cardiff just working so hard. You feel they might need maybe an offload in there or a pass through the tackle. At the moment it's just one-out runners and passing across the back line, hoping for someone to make a break or a mismatch, but it's going to take a little bit more to break down this Munster defence. It's been so strong this year. They're just patient, not committing too many players to the ruck, filling the field. And out of a big opportunity here, we haven't seen much of the Munster maul at all tonight, but
we must give them a
gap this could be an opportunity to see that.
Line out in, must let them throw it in.
It's the most frugal defence in the competition, of course. Munster conceding only 27 tries before tonight. Cardiff pretty much double that on 53. Daly out the back to Casey now. Carberry, a little feint to go inside to Calvin Nash, and taken on now here by Knox, and Munster pouring forward into that 22, looking very ominous indeed. Good carry from Kendellen, out the back from Farrell to Haley to Scannell. The penalty was always coming there, wasn't it? And they go quickly! He always goes quickly, and Craig Casey has done it again. The replacement scrum half on the double gets his second try of the evening. He is absolutely electric.
He's razor sharp. Turns out the second the referee's whistle was blown, he had the ball in his hands and he had only one thing in his mind. So hard to stop from that far out. Rory Scannell gets the ball ripped out of his hands here, but it's judged to gone backwards. I'm sure the referee gave a mark, but Craig Casey's getting the home ground decision.
2 minutes to play once we go, let's focus. Thanks, Leo.
Just pulled it ever so slightly to the left-hand side, but well, we were saying they just went a little bit flat. And the introduction of Craig Casey and Joey Carberry and one or two others off the bench made a big difference, but no surprise to see Mike Haley get the player of the match.
No, he's, as we've been saying all night, he's been incredible for Munster all year. Such a solid player. Remember Felix Jones telling me when they signed Mike Haley back in, was it 2017, how excited he was to sign such a solid player, but also someone who's got great attacking prowess, and we've seen so much of both of those things tonight.
Could be on here for Munster again from very deep, and Haley once again goes to the box of tricks and has the right idea.
Big few months ahead for this Munster side, and back three is going to be an interesting decisions made there. Conway, of course, has gone back into that. Keith Earls has been really impressive over the last few weeks, so a lot of decisions to be made.
And the European champions, of course, on the horizon in Dublin at the Aviva. Here's Cabango, who's only got eyes for the try line at the other end. That's really good from Priestland over the top to Jamie Hill, and it really has been exhilarating stuff, and Cardiff have more than played their part in that right to the end here. 79th minute of the game, double scores, 42-21 down, still trying.
Yeah, they're always worth a good few scores in a game. Cardiff, they've got threats across the field, always play with great intent, just forcing a little bit too much there, but made it a real competition here tonight.
That's Kendellen, by the way, who got up huge height on that to turn it over. Not the cleanest of connections from Owen Lane, one-handed from Peter O'Mahony. Scott Buckley. Pretty much on the 80 minutes as it's kicked cross-field by Joey Carberry. Nash takes it.
Thank you.
Is there to be a sixth try in Munster for a finish with a flourish? As they did in the first half, took their time to re-establish their dominance in the second half. That's lovely. Here goes O'Hearn, taken on now again by Knox. Maybe Munster not quite finished yet. That's both him over the ball. He's turned it over. He's so good in there. And I think that will be that. What a game we have had this evening, right from the first whistle. When Cardiff came out of the blocks at a rate of knots and scored that try with Seb Davies, he's seen enough. Good night's work for Johan van Graan on this much changed Munster side. As we've been saying, sometimes a bit difficult just to re-establish that rhythm when you're making 7-8 changes week on week. but Munster have filled their boots, so to speak, with the crucial 5 points that they need tonight. All eyes on that home quarter-final. We know how difficult it has been over recent weeks for sides to go to the Southern Hemisphere, to the likes of the Stormers and the Sharks, and eke out wins, and it will be very difficult for whomsoever has to go there in a playoff quarter-final. Munster want home advantage, and certainly they put themselves in a good position tonight with the 5 points. Navidi now, as Cardiff maybe will finish out the scoring. All the way up to the 10-metre line. Fabinho, haven't seen him find any real space, any chink of light on that Munster defence. Huge hit on Evans from Jenkins. Ahern there, O'Mahony too. Wycherley.
There was a knock on by Red in the tackle.
Ball's gone forward. Ball is kicked out of play, and the match is at an end. And it is Munster, job done. They led 27-14 at half-time. They added 2 further tries through Craig Casey in that second half. What an impact he had off the bench, doesn't he often? He's so dynamic,